So you want to read fantasy, but you don't know where to start. Let's start a series, shall we? Hey guys, welcome back to Read with Melanin, and today we are starting a series called Fantasy 101, and it is where to start your magical journey. This is my version of a series where I talk about different types of fantasy that you might want to get into that you're not quite sure of, because I've come to the conclusion that I have friends that want to read fantasy, but they don't know where to start. And with me, because I've read so many types of fantasy, I actually don't know where to tell them to start. So this series should help you and me, and hopefully by the end of this little mini series, you will have picked a new fantasy series to dive into. I will try to give recommendations throughout the videos, but for this particular video, we are going to be talking about a couple different genres of fantasy that are more popular. So they're ones that you would see more of. I'm gonna probably not I'm not gonna deep dive into these just because this is more of an intro. If you guys want deep dives of the genres and things, let me know, and that'll be something I add on to the list as we go on. But today we're talking about where to start your magic journey. What kind of fantasy girly are you? And let's talk about 5 subgenres. So I need to make a note that as far as fantasy goes, you really want to get me hooked, just tell me there's new magic in it. You really want to tell me to stay, just tell me there's dragons in it. So I also like military. I also like cozy. There's so many genres of fantasy, and then there's also so many subgenres of fantasy that it could get very overwhelming if you're trying to figure that out. So let's start with some basic ones. Now, these are not all the subgenres. I'm just telling you 5 of them that are very popular right now because I can give you actual examples of those books. And I think that might help you out. So the first one is like high fantasy or epic fantasy. Normally when you hear things like this, you're thinking Game of Thrones, you're thinking The Hobbit, you're thinking Lord of the Rings, you're thinking about these very, very complex whole world systems. They are set in their own magical world with their own everything. So like I said, Game of Thrones. If you're looking for a show, again, Game of Thrones is a perfect example of high fantasy. The Wheel of Magic. There's a lot in the TV realm, but high fantasy is a genre. Now, for most beginner fantasy readers, this might be a little too much because another thing with high fantasy, epic fantasies that I've noticed, there will be a lot of explanation about the world. You do have to be bought into the world. And I've noticed for some of the people that I'm trying to get to read fantasy, they don't like when it's heavy, like almost info dumpy. High fantasy has a tendency to be a little info dumpy, but that's so that you get what's happening in the story. So if you're not, you might not be ready for that, and that's fine. I'm just letting you know, that's a little thing that might happen. The next one that I feel like any millennial knows is dystopian fantasy. So dystopian fantasy is like Hunger Games, Handmaid's Tale, Divergent, all of the major films that came out right after like Twilight, after the vampire thing died down, then it was all like dystopian. So Hunger Games, those kind of books. So with dystopians, it's worlds gone wrong. It's like basically worse than the present. It's kind of how like we keep making jokes that we're currently in a time where we're going dystopian. As funny as that is, it also feels kind of true if you've read a lot of dystopian books. So another element with dystopian books is that there's usually some type of ridiculous hierarchy system in there that's just wrong. It's usually what is the inspiration for the rebellion. In a lot of dystopians, there is always a rebellion. So if you like those kinds of books, I also think you would enjoy, like I said, it's a great one to check out. There are a lot of YA ones because at the time there was a huge push for not only YA, but YA dystopian. But if you want more book recommendations, I can do a separate video for each one of these genres of books. Just let me know. So the next one is, and I'm specifically adding this one in because urban fantasy. Now, there is a common misconception in some parts of the book world, not the Black side, that urban automatically means Black. And that is not true because urban actually means where the fantasy stuff is taking place in our world. When you hear urban fantasy, it means that all the fantasy stuff that's happening, it's in our world. It's in our New York City. It's the Avengers. It's the Percy Jackson series. It's the Harry Potter series, actually. Like, these are all magic systems that are happening right in our world. And I'm going to use Percy Jackson as the main one because that's the one I've read like the most recently. But there are plenty of examples of urban romance. Urban romance does not automatically mean Black. And if you hear urban fantasies or urban romances and you automatically think Black, check yourself. That's racist. So the next one is dark fantasy. And to be honest, dark fantasy is very broad, just like epic. All of these genres actually are very broad. They're very, very broad. But like, dark fantasy combines elements of fantasy with like horror. So think like Lovecraft Country, Dread Nation. It's like these are fantasy things that are happening, but also like, oh my God, horrific thing. So imagine that. If you've seen you don't even have to read Lovecraft Country. I'm sure you saw the show on HBO. Like it's very much dark fantasy. I'm also realizing that a lot of fantasies where they're retelling history of like Black people, like again, Dread Nation 2, where it's like a retelling of that time frame. Like racism still exists even in these magical worlds, but then they always have like horror elements like zombies and everything else. I find that interesting. I wonder if that's on purpose. We might have to do a deep dive on dark fantasy. The last genre that I want to talk about is the one that I originally completely rejected the idea of because I was just kind of sick of introducing more genres, and it is the cozy fantasy genre. So the cozy fantasy genre is exactly what you're thinking. It's lighter stories that focus on character journey rather than epic adventures. They're a little bit more slow paced. They're feel good. Like you usually end up smiling and like drinking your tea happily while reading these books. Sangu Mandana did these books. The Secrets of the Magical Innkeeping that just came out, that's one. The Enchanted Greenhouse, that author. The Honey Witch, like these are all in what would be considered the cozy realm. And to be honest, I kind of like that realm a lot. I originally rejected it, but I get what they mean when they say cozy because it's not very high stakes. It's very cutesy, very demure. They're not like, it's not like a high stakes type fantasy. So if you're looking for like low stakes, cozy fantasy is the way to go. So my question to you is, do you want to read fantasy still? Do you want more book recommendations for fantasy? Let me know down below in the comments and I will start prepping the next video of the series. This is Fantasy 101 and I am your teacher, the Melanin Eclectic, and I will see y'all later. Bye.